Hello, everybody. Let me check to make sure my sound's coming in good. That actually sounds really good. Okay. Alright, let me get comfortable and get my tablet back in place. And then get, my reference material up. Everything's falling apart. My entire life is falling apart. Okay. Alright. So, for reference, let me get the screen back up. Okay. Alright. So, if you haven't been here before... Hold up. So currently it used to be Thursdays, but on Saturdays I do animation practice. And, so what I do is 51... Oh no. That color's not that great. I do 51 great animation exercises to master. That's what I do. That's what I draw. Because I want to be an animator, and one way to be an animator is you gotta practice doing animation. So currently, we are on level 2. Which, is, if you don't know, all of these fun exercises. So... the exercises that we have completed so far are the tree fall, the character emotion change, the character deep breath, the jumping over chasm, the character sneezing, character laughing, a walk cycle, more like a strut cycle, but you know. Character getting hit by a ball. Their poor friend couldn't catch them before they hit the ground. We did a run cycle. He kind of slows down at the end there, but you know what? For a first pass, it could be a lot worse. Character smear. This one was actually my favorite when we did this. Sitting up from a chair. This one was actually a lot more complicated than I thought it would be, especially trying to keep the feet in place. And then, you know, keeping size proportion correct. But I did it. I tried really hard, and I did it. And then our last one was a character reaching for an object on a high shelf. But the thing falls over, so they don't wind up getting it, but... But as though it was fate, because I've seen, like, several different, like, Pogo jumping videos. Like there was one that was done on AI where the guy is like using a pogo stick to run away from the police, and then I've seen like a couple other things involving pogo sticks today. I'm taking that as the sign from the universe that pogo stick. That's what we need to do today. And then because Blinkomania has been stuck in my head, like if I could, I would just play on repeat Blinkomania for the entirety of stream, but I feel like that would get annoying to some people. So I decided to try to find some royalty-free like electro swing to listen to. And yeah. So it's great. It's amazing. Alright, let me get started. Let me find the reference I need, actually. Animation practice. Okay. So we got the feet, the hips, and the head. Okay. So first what we want to do is we want to lay out our, like, kind of groundwork. Or, like, arc. So, like, what we can do is it can be, like, a small jump, and then make it like kind of like a big one, because you know they're going like kind of fast, and then just shoot off into the aether. Because that would be my luck. Like, being on a pogo stick. I can't remember. I think one time in my childhood, I can't remember if it was, like, a unicycle or a pogo stick, but, like, I tried one of them, and it did not end well. And then I remembered, my brother got one of those, like, I think they were called, like, ripsticks. Where they were, like, the skateboard that just had, like, it was basically, like, what was it? It was, I say it was like a skateboard, but it was kind of like a skateboard where, like, this was, like, the front, and then it had this, like, line, and then it had, like, the back, right? But then there was this line where, like, they could rotate independently of each other. So, like, if you wanted to direct it that way, you could, and then direct the back legs the other way to, like, steer. Does anyone remember what those were called? They were way before the, fuck, what are they? The hoverboards. They were, like, long before. I think they were, like, the prototype for the hoverboard. I'll have to look it up when I get a chance, but... Okay. So those are the peaks. So we're gonna fade that out a bit. And what I'm gonna do to kind of save myself a bit of a headache Okay, so that's the pogo stick. And then our little guy. I don't know how to do this now. I guess let's animate the pogo stick first, and then we'll do the guy, because we'll see how they, like, fit together. Although, if I don't draw him now, I'm never going to draw him. How do other people do it? Okay, so I guess he doesn't have to be too overcomplicated for the first time. Okay. So let's take our... Okay, so we're not gonna worry about him right this moment. What did I do? Okay, so right now, we gotta get the pogo stick to essentially have this little bottom piece hit contact with the ground. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna have a little bit of anticipation where the pogo stick kind of like, oop. Kind of push that stick a little, like, just ever so slightly slant it, like, forward. So I'm actually using this bottom part of the arc to kind of like follow the curve. No, the other thing I'm doing is I'm just doing what's known as straight ahead animation where I'm just kind of like eyeballing the movements I need and then going straight from there. So like eyeball. And I'm just being like, that looks good enough, and just go. And this is very different because usually in animation what you do is pose to pose, or essentially you do where you break down the major movements into keys and then you go from there. So like this is essentially one, and then getting it to the height would be position 2. So you have keyframe 1, keyframe 2, and then you have all the bits in between to get from 1 to 2. But I am not doing that. Even though I probably should be. The process is different for everyone. Like, if it was an actual production line, I should probably be doing that, but this is just for me. And I'm kind of getting a benchmark of where my abilities are. But this is how you create, bad practice, I guess, or bad habits. Actually, I wonder. Let me see. Yeah, that goes kind of high. Zoom out a little bit. Then, because we want it to follow the curve. Oh my god. We'll make this pause 2 frames. Oh, that's fucking great. Zoom. Goodbye. Oh, that's so great. Oh my god, that's actually really cool. I love when I do cool stuff. Okay. So I've got the pogo stick animation in one folder, and I'm doing the guy in another folder. Come on, buddy, hang on. I'm trying to think about stuff to talk about. I just don't know what. Oh, so I saw somewhere. No. Okay, give me like a minute and it'll come to me. I'm sure. Okay, so what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to like straighten out his like posture a bit. Oh, I started rewatching Schitt's Creek. It's one of my favorite TV shows. I don't know, there's something to love about how they, like, a rich family tries to adjust to, like, regular living. And one thing I think is funny is how the dad bought the town as, like, a joke. But then, like, over time they grow to, like, love their lives. Or not necessarily, like, love, but... But you know what I mean. My favorite character will always be David. I just love David so much. We didn't know where you were. I texted Alexis. Oh my god, I didn't respond to like one text, David. actually thought this exercise was going to be a bit more complicated than what I thought it would be. But I think I may have overhyped myself up. Then again, I'm like... Homeboy's trying really hard. So wait, what does this look like? Oh, poor baby! Oh my god, that's amazing. Speed is key! I did not put this on vector layers because I was kind of dumb, but it's okay. Okay, so if I zoom out, let's see how this looks. Kind of looks like a superhero. Whee! Okay, hold on, let me put more speed on this one. I just love how you guys are flying off. Oh my god. This would be me. This is me on a pogo stick. Do the first jump and then the second I just get launched. Alright, now I get to add color to everything, because why not? Oh, I know what I can talk about. Okay, so I'm trying to work on the second weird Tober prompt that I have for this 30-day prompt challenge, which already I'm not, there's no way. I'm not completing it in 30 days. And I also started late, but the world is ending if I start anything on time. Really. But, anyways, so I'm trying to figure out how to do this prompt, and I'm like, I switched the prompt. So, like, the prompt is, it watches from above. And, so I was like, okay. Cool. And so I got it in my head, because, you know, I'm a master at perspective, that I was gonna learn how to draw a, like, 360 panoramic, like, view perspective, like, 5-point perspective, right? And so I started watching tutorials on, you know, how to do that. And in the midst of watching those tutorials, I was like, okay, I might be a bit delulu, even for me. Because I've never even drawn, like, a fisheye lens in, like, perspective. And I have absolutely not mastered the other points of perspective, like the ones that you typically start out with. Like, 1, 2, 3... You know, things you should probably learn before you should run. Nah, see, what I do is I sprint and then get frustrated I can't do it on the first try. And then I go back and I learn everything that I need to learn to do it properly the next time. Or I just give up and I'm like, you know what? I didn't nail it. I'm bad at it. I'll never be good at it. No point in trying to learn how to do it. And that's bad. That's bad mentality. Don't do that. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. And it feels like I'm not doing things correctly. But the only way out is through. If you want to get good, you gotta get through. Although I do notice, because I looked back at some of the practices I did in level 1 when I started this. And I noticed, or I have noticed, that my sense of, like, timing has gotten better. At least a little bit. I really should be practicing doing pose to pose more so than just being like, glance at a quick reference and I'm like, okay, let's just go. Let's go, baby. But it's vastly improved from the first time. From the first practice I did. And one thing I'm trying to remind myself is practice is not for practice is not for perfection, but it's to be a safe place to play. Mess with colors, mess with shapes, mess with timing. Get your techniques down, that kind of thing. And if I treat it like play, then I'm more apt to continue doing it. You know? It's kind of like how kids will develop spatial awareness if you throw them. Like, not at things, but like if you throw them like up in the air, or if they or if you have like a trampoline that they can jump on or something like that. Or they're just used to being like jumped or like spin around. Like they develop a sense of spatial awareness through play. And I think it's important to bring play back into things, into like things that you're trying or things that you're experimenting with, or projects that, you know, you may not be 100% ready for, but you're going to try them anyway, because why not? Because adults don't really play, like, you know, everything's on fire, and I feel like as overexhausted adults, we need more time to play. And I know that can seem kind of, kind of childish, because, you know, we are adults. Like, you gotta go, like, you gotta pay bills, you gotta do this, you gotta do that, but I think part of the exhaustion is also that loss of just being able to relax and play and, you know, have that sense of safety that you're doing things for yourself. There's no need to perform because, you know, you need to look good for a job, or, you know, you want to look good for the people you're, like, with. Or put on a front so that way people don't think you're, like, childish or anything like that. And doing creative hobbies is one way you could play. Although, if you're trying to turn your hobby into a business, that gets a bit complicated, but I think the same, like, ideal still holds. I'm now realizing I should have made this character a darker green color, so we're We're gonna go back and we're gonna recolor him. Yeah, this might actually be better because you can see his outlines a bit more. Oh, so not... Was it last weekend? I think it was last weekend. Okay, so last weekend I went to go visit my parents, and my dad made tortellini. And it was funny because whenever, so like, my dad doesn't remember, but like, when I was a kid, whenever my dad made tortellini, he would always make tortellini with pesto sauce. And so my dad keeps talking about how he's gonna make tortellini, and we need to go like shopping to get the ingredients for everything. Now, I was visiting for like 3 days, and so the entire, like, he wanted to make tortellini on like one of the weekend days that I was visiting. And so I was like, okay. So the first day I asked him, I was like, oh, so we should, you know, pick up pesto, like pesto sauce, which is like this like green like basil sauce. And my dad kind of gave me a strange look, and he's like, I mean, we're not, like, I forget what it was, but like I was like, okay, so like you're gonna get pesto with tortellini, right? And he just kind of looked at me, and I was like, did I say something wrong? And he's like, no, it's okay. Well, anyways, so then the next day we go shopping. Or rather, my parents go to run errands, and I go run errands with them. And we're walking around the store to get, like, all the ingredients. And I notice my dad doesn't grab pesto. And I'm like, aren't you gonna grab pesto? And my dad's like, why? And I'm like, well, you said you're making tortellini, right? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, well, usually you make tortellini with pesto. And my dad's like, do I? And I'm like, I mean, from what I remember, you do. And he's like, oh, well, we don't know if we're gonna use this, like, tortellini or not, so... I forget what had happened, but like my mom had said something about like distracted him, or I had asked something because they were trying to find like a specific like tortellini that I guess is like fresh made. But they bought like prepackaged tortellini just to use. And so anyways, so the day that I'm like that he's gonna make it, he runs to like our Walmart to see if he could find like, or the Walmart that's like closest to their house, to see if they can find like fresh tortellini. And so he comes back from the store and he has fresh tortellini, and he starts preparing all the ingredients, and I see there's no pesto, and I'm like, I kept, like, in my mind, I kept forgetting that my dad kept giving me weird looks when I kept asking about pesto. And so anyway, so I look at the ingredients, and I have a very confused look on my face, and my dad goes, why are you so confused? And I looked at him and I was like, where's the pesto? And finally, my dad, like, absolutely loses it. And he's like, what is with you and the pesto? And I was like, what do you mean what's with me and pesto? Like, whenever you've made tortellini, you've always had pesto. And he's like, you've always made it with pesto. And my dad's like, you don't need pesto to make tortellini. And I'm like, he's like, tortellini is Italian. You can make it any way you want. And I'm like, yeah, I understand that. but you've always made pesto. You've always made tortellini with pesto. Finally, my dad realized that the reason why I was being so hard pressed about him having pesto with this tortellini that he was making was, it was funny too, because like my mom just kind of like looked at us like, baby, you're gonna have to explain like what the hell is going on with this whole like insistence with pesto sauce. And so I was like, okay, when I was younger, like every time my dad made tortellini, he made tortellini with pesto and with pesto sauce. And my mom's like, homemade pesto sauce? And I'm like, I don't know, it might have been homemade sometimes. Usually, from what I remember, it was like pre-made in this little like green jar. And my mom was like, oh, and I'm like, yeah, so my dad said he was gonna make tortellini. And so I just automatically assumed it was gonna be tortellini with pesto, because that's how he's always made it. And my mom kind of chuckled and my dad kind of gave me like a weird look. And my dad was like, oh no, this recipe doesn't, you know, call for pesto. It's just tortellini with like some salad dressing and like a couple other things. And I was like, oh, okay. I didn't understand that you were using a different tortellini recipe, because I'm just, whenever I see tortellini, I just associate it with a jar of pesto sauce. Like that's just how I've always associated it with. And my dad was finally like, my dad was like, finally understood, and he was like, oh, yeah, no, you gotta remember, like, I have so much stuff in my head at any one time that I can't, like, remember certain things. And so, like, I do remember I've made tortellini in the past, but I don't remember if what sauces I've specifically used. And I'm like, okay, to give you an example, it's like, so he's like, is that why you're so insistent about it? And I'm like, okay, think of it like this. Think about if every time you went to grandma's house, right? And grandma makes spaghetti and she always makes it with red sauce, right? And then one day you go visit and she decides that she's gonna make spaghetti with Alfredo sauce. Like, is that not gonna throw you off? At least a little bit, because when she said spaghetti, you thought it was gonna be red sauce. And my dad's like, well, I mean, you can make spaghetti with any kind of sauce. I'm like, you can, but if you've always had it with red sauce, when it suddenly shows up with Alfredo sauce, like, isn't that gonna be a little bit weird? And my dad's like, yeah, you know, you're right, I get it now. Well, anyways, so my dad cooked the tortellini on this fancy grill, this fancy like blacktop grill that he has. It's called, I think it's called like a Blackstone grill. Anyway, so he makes the tortellini recipe that he found, and it's really good. Like, it's really good. But anyways, after that whole debacle, we sit and we eat tortellini for lunch, and then my mom, the whole time I'm thinking, God, this would be really good to have with pesto, because I'm still not over the fact that my dad made tortellini without pesto. And my mom looks between us and she goes, not to bring up the whole pesto debacle, or the pesto incident, and I was just like, oh my god. So I start dying laughing, and my dad whips his head around to look at her. And my mom goes, I think cooking tortellini this way with pesto would be good. And then I completely died before I had to leave to come back. And that's how I drove my dad crazy with pesto sauce, I guess. I don't know. It was funny. And now, when I get my butt back to the grocery store, I'm gonna pick up tortellini and a jar of pesto sauce, and I'm gonna make my dad's tortellini. My dad's original TM tortellini. And our little pogo stick guy goes flying off into the aether. So if we take out our guides... This is great! I love this, unironically. He's such a cute little guy. I just love watching that second jump into non-existence. Alright, and that finishes out level 2 of 51 great animation exercises to master. Alright, I will be right back, and then we'll check out level 3, and if there's a practice I'm willing to, like, do, I have to run to the restroom real quick, so give me una momento. Everything's falling apart. Everything is awesome. Everything is cool when you're part of a team. Everything is awesome when you live in the dream. Come on, go up, uppies. Higa-biga-da. Higa-biga. Okay, before I bring all my tablet set up back and can't move my legs, because reasons. Squish! Scooch! Where? Headphones. Come hither. Alright, I'm here. I'm back, maybe. My pen evaporated, though, and that's no bueno. I'll find it in a hot second. Let me see what level 3 animation exercises have to offer. Level 3. Come on. Take it easy. Oh my god, that shirt is actually really cool. Hold on. Alright, level 3. Close up of hand picking up a small object. Character lifting a heavy object. Overlapping action. Character painting. Alright, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a screenshot of this. Is that everybody? Yeah, that is. Alright. So now that level 2 is done... Oh, I should probably erase that. Hold on. Burb. So now we get a glimpse into level 3. I'm not sure we're gonna start level 3 tonight, though. So I have a close-up of open hand, closing into fist, close-up of hand, picking up a small object, character lifting a heavy object, overlapping action, character painting, hammering a nail, stirring a soup pot and tasting from spoon. Character blowing up a balloon. Character juggling. A scared character appearing around the corner. Starting to say something but unsure how. Zipping up a jacket. Licking and sealing an envelope. Standing up from the ground. Pressing an elevator button and waiting for the elevator to show. Okay, so it seems like with some of these we're gonna get into a bit more, not necessarily complex scene setup, but if we want to do a master review of everything we've done so far, happy Saturday, Phantaz. I'm sorry to drop in so late. I'm pre-meal prepping. How's your night going? Night's going good. We just finished level 2 of 51 amazing exercises to master. And so I was looking at the list of level 3. Also, you're good. Like, life happens, my friendo. Heck, I actually started a bit later than I was planning to because, 1, I was trying to find good music to listen to, and 2, my drawing hand being off from my cursor has been, like, excuse me, has been bothering me the last couple of sessions I've done now. But, we are going to review everything we've done so far in level 1 and 2, and then we're going to compare the level 1 animation versus the most recent pogo stick animation that I've done. So, yeah. And then I'm not doing level 3 tonight. But, I am going to... I might start a fisheye perspective drawing. I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to do that on stream or not. But, yeah, just kind of chill out, have a good time. Is this, like, behind? No. YouTube is just very delayed. Okay, so everything I've done in level 1 started right here. Only not there. Started here. Because we have 2 different ball bounces. We have, this is the first one we did that's officially part of the exercise regimen. I did do some from a completely, like, different tutorial, but I don't, like, I do count those in beginner, but not in beginner where this is for specific exercises. So this is the first ever ball loop that we've ever, like, done to, like, start. All right, and that's just bouncing in place. And then we did the across the screen bounce. And that was exercise 2. And then we did the brick falling. And as you can see, I didn't really have, like, a grid, like, sort of plan, so everything kind of looks like it's free floating. And then this was our simple head turn, which I didn't include a mouth because my main focus was on how the eyes moved when the head turns. Also, what are you meal prepping, Gordaflon? This was our character Blink. I had actually animated, like, I think a few other model Blinks prior to this, but this is specific for the practice. As you can tell, I have a personal vendetta against making eyebrows. I'm gonna butcher all these words, so I apologize. I'm making caldo de pollo, Mexican chicken soup. Love that character. Hey, yo! I hope it tastes really, really good. The pollo. We did the flour sack wave. That one's actually one of my favorites. The flour sack jump was also a lot of fun. I like the little, like, shadow at the bottom. We did the sack fall. This was before I understood what smearing frames were. But it still holds kind of, like, true. This is our flour sack kick. This one's also pretty good. Now, keep in mind, I've done these over a period of, like, what, 3 or 4 months? So, like, this is all collective progress I've done over, like, months. Because I tried to relegate, like, consistent practice to at least, like, 1 day a week. Right? Because you can do, like, 1 day. You can do 1 day of anything. This was a character head turn with anticipation, which is also one of my favorite head turns I've done. Again, no character mouth. I probably should have added one, but I just didn't think about it. Again, it's one of those things where my major focus was on the eyes more than anything, because as your head turns, you blink. And then this was a character thinking, although it kind of comes across more as like they're concerned over a decision. But I did like it. And that was everything we did in level 1, and then we went on to level 2, which I'll show you that one in a second. But first, we gotta just start all the way at the bottom, which we did the falling tree. This one was actually really cool because I kind of did 2 different techniques for it. I had the like major stump like just kind of sitting there, and then I did the tree. And be impressed with me, damn it! I worked so hard on these. Although a few of them I kind of phoned it in, but this is character change and expression, which is one I also really liked. And this character does have a mouth. I did this one because I think her name is Susie or Sussy, was super popular because this was when K-pop Demon Hunters first came out. Yeah, I've kind of been at this for like a long time, but I think at first, like, it wasn't confirmed whether Sussy was a girl or a boy, and then it was confirmed that she was female, but I digress. And then we did the flour sack jump over chasm. Not that it's a very big chasm, mind you, but it's still, it's pretty decent, And then this is our girl Yin sneezing dark matter. They definitely are impressive, especially since animation is a complete drawing for every frame. Well, yes and no. So like for these were hand drawn on like every frame. But if you do like vector animation uses a lot of what's known as like tweening. I think that's what it's called, where you set movement. So like, I'll explain it in a bit. Let me get through the rest of this and then I'll explain it. And the motions are very fun. Yes, because the thing of it is when you're animating, like, one thing you want to think about is details are important to some degree, but in animation, what you want to animate is character emotion. and how that like a character who is insecure and softly spoken is going to be animated very differently than a character who's loud and confident, right? And then you have shape language where you get more focus when you animate the shapes. Now, Western animation has more stylized character designs that follow shape language, where anime focuses more on like I say semi, like it's still very stylized, but it's semi-realistic human forms, if that makes sense. Well, depending on the anime. Most general anime, they're more like realistically like human-ish. This was the character we did laughing, which included eyes and a mouth, but no nose. This is the walk cycle we did, but it's more like a strut and it's just in one loop. I was still really impressed with this, honestly. But like, the thing of it is me doing this is me getting a feel for where my stuff is, because like, here's the truth of it. You can buy all the books, you can watch all the tutorials, you can save all of the little like tidbit videos. None of them are going to help you until you actually do it. And there's a lot of pressure you put on yourself to nail it the first time, where like ordinarily you wouldn't have that pressure if you didn't nail it the first time, right? And it's remembering that these don't need to be perfect. You just need to have fun. You just need to see what you're starting with so you know what to improve later. This is a character getting hit by a ball while having a conversation, and their friend tried to save them, but did not. So, whoops. I actually used a lot of like repeat frames in this one for their conversation. So the run cycle was interesting. I don't feel it's a full run, but it does have that like carry motion going through. And then obviously I ripped this reference. Also, you don't have to specifically color these. I just do because like I post them for everybody to see. So plus, it helps me with, like, readability and visibility, so that way I remember what I'm doing. This is my smear, my little smear fish. I love him so much. I love my little smear fish. He's great. And then this one was actually a lot harder than I thought it was gonna be. But standing up from the chair, and the reason why this one was hard was a lot of times you can tell beginner animators because volumes and shapes don't stay the same size between frames. I don't think I've ever seen the smear fishy one. Yeah. And don't get me wrong, that's not to say that I'm like a perfect professional at this, but either, because like if you notice, my character forms and volume forms also change sizes between animations, but trying to keep everything somewhat like consistent enough to be considered the same character this was hard, especially on the character standing up from the chair. And in level 3, we get to do the same thing, only standing up from the ground. So you can imagine how much more difficult that's about to be. But honestly, to go from like... If we go all the way back to our bouncing ball... Like... To go from our purple ball to standing... To a character standing, that's a lot. Or even our loop ball, right? They're both gonna be green. But like, you can tell the timing's better. You can tell like, it is a bit more of a complex form, but the shapes roughly try to stay the same. Like, that's a pretty big improvement. And again, I cannot stress this enough. This is doing like 1 to 2 of these practices a week. This is not, I just did these every day until I got better. This is allowing time to rest in between practices so that way the information like sticks, you know? Oh, and then we have our character reaching a high place. They didn't get the object they wanted, but they at least tried. And like, you could definitely tell in level 2, I actually have a grid pattern like laid out for the floors, so that way the drawings look more grounded in reality, and I can have feet placement. Sunday Grimm, hi, I love your model. Hi Sunday, welcome in. Thanks for listening to me yap. Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it. I drew her myself. She's likely gonna go through a redraw at the start of the new year as I add more complicated bits, but I haven't quite gotten there just yet. How you doing? What do you look like, actually? Let me see. Aww! You look cool, too. Hold up. Are these your animations? They're great. Yes. These are all of my blood, sweat, and tears. Oh my god, you're ice cream themed. I love you. I love your model too! Oh my god, you play scary games. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know how I feel about that. I'm doing good. Had a fun day. Now I'm just chilling. How are you? I'm doing good. I'm reviewing everything I have ever... I'm gonna go ahead and follow you. Oh, thank you. Haha. How do I take out... You know, that's just gonna be there forever now. Maybe? No? Okay. I'm just reviewing all the... And I love horror games. Oh, I don't think I have the heart. I've played several horror games, honestly. Bendy and the Ink Machine I really need to, like, come back to. Aw, thank you for the follow! God, this person's great. Fuck. What was I gonna say? Shit. Oh, yeah, so basically over the past several months, I've been doing 51 great animation exercises to master, and I'm reviewing everything I've done in level 1 and level 2. And I just finished the last exercise in level 2, which is the pogo stick animation. And I was looking at the exercises in level 3, which I am not doing level 3 tonight. But, your vibes are 10/10. I was looking for a bit while I got set up to draw. I like watching streams while doing art. Hey, yo! Glad I can help. I really do hope the vibes are good. I'm always worried about that, like... But I try to have the good vibes TM trademark. I don't know. I'm making a bad first impression. Ah! Okay, so this is my favorite one that I've done so far, and this is the pogo stick animation. Boing! Just flies off into the aether. Oh my god. I love it so much. Your animations are very fluid. Are you in school for it then? So I am not in school for it then. So if you want the backstory or the lore, I have been an artist on and off ever since I was like 13. And I finally decided a few years ago, like, I think it's been 3 now, that, you know what, I'm not gonna deny it anymore. Art has always crept up. I've always wanted to be an animator. Like, my dream is to be an animator. And so I have decided that I'm going to pursue the art full time. And that's what I'm doing. And I'm crying every second of the way, but I'm trying. So I do digital painting. I'm trying to figure out like what my content is. And I'm teaching myself how to do it because when you see enough videos about what a scam art school is, and knowing you can't go like 40 to 50K in debt for professional schooling, like, especially in this economy. Oh, sorry I was in ads, so I missed it if you responded. No worries, no worries. Let me, I'll backtrack. So the lore TM is that I've been doing art on and off since I was 13, and I decided like 3 years ago, actually no, it'll be 3 years in February, but I decided 2 years ago that I was gonna say fuck it and just do it full time. And so I'm teaching myself how to do it because Homegirl does not have 40 to 50K to spend on art school. Oh, I love that. You're doing awesome. I believe in you. Thank you. Thank you. Look, the struggle is so real. So real, but I'm doing my best. I'm doing the best that I can. I've met so many, like, amazing people doing this. Made new friends. Have a crippling addiction to romance books. One specifically, I want a storyboard, like, all of my favorite moments in, so that's partially why I want to get better at this. So I can storyboard and animate all of my favorite monster romance scenes. Because I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem. But yeah, So, these are all the exercises I did in level 2, as you can see by how wonked out that list is. And these are all the exercises that I'm going to do in level 3. I'm impressed by your animation progress, and it's not an easy medium to pick up in my opinion. It is not, but like the other thing of it is too is, so there was a video I saw a while back where somebody was like, name your most unhinged ways to like practice art. And somebody said, before you go into illustration, learn animation first. And they said that because when you do animation, every frame is a drawing, or every like 3 frames is a drawing. And so what you do is when you animate, you spend hours upon hours just minorly like moving. So like, hold on. So if we do a character, right? So in animation, you spend hours and hours learning how to draw things from different angles and how to transition those drawings from angle to angle to angle. And that's one way you like improve. Especially if you do character animation. I have a lot of respect for people who do frame by frame animation. I do it sometimes, but I prefer rigging. Plus, animation teaches you a lot about proportion, scale, shape, and physics. What does FW mean that? Oh yeah, like, so one thing, if you don't want to go, so like, when a lot of people think about animation, right, they think of character animation, you know, where you have the like characters doing the ultra like jujitsu moves, right? In other words, I like that. I fuck with that. In other words, I like that approach. Oh, I get you. Okay. So if you want like an easy like start in animation, I say easy, but it's like relative, right? So like when most people think about animation, they think about animation as in like character animation, where you take a character and you know, make them do crazy stuff. Like jujitsu, or I don't know, belt out, you know, their wants and desires, right? While they dance and move their legs. Okay, but this is not the only animation there is. Go back, come on. So like, if you want like an easier approach to animation, you go into what's known as effects animation, where you animate, you know, the movement of fire, of flames, or how smoke blooms, or how, you know, like clouds slowly like drift across the screen, or how rain falls, right? And what these effects do is they teach you timing and spacing in between your drawings, so that way you can apply that to when you move more complex things like a person who, you know, say the head, right, is entirely one folder of parts and movement, and then you have the arm, which is another folder of parts and movement, and the torso and that kind of thing. Or like in the case of you, a Sunday where you do rigging, which I still, for the life of me, cannot understand rigging. Like, I've seen it. I've seen people do it. I know it's a thing that exists, but it just goes over my head where you have, like, the little node, and then you have, like, a bone, and then you have, like, another little node, or another bone, and then you have the neck, and then you have the head, like, node, bone, and then when you move one of them, it moves, like, all the pieces, you know, like, that, I don't understand that. I've tried. I've really tried, and I can't do it. I can't do it! I mean, I probably could if I really tried. That's me with 3D digital art. I understand it in theory, but my brain cannot create it in that medium. Dude, don't even get me started on people that animate in 3D. Like, I can't prove it, but I'm pretty sure some of them are psychopaths. Because, what do you mean you're gonna take this, like, 3D box and you're gonna rotate it on, like, 3 different planes of existence? Like, how? How? Do you create the animations offline, or do you stream the process? So for 51 grade animation exercises, I do stream the process. I have a YouTube that has all of the previous, like, VODs that I have. I think I actually put them all in one playlist. But if you want to go check them out, I can find them, maybe? Not me, gonna post my own links. YouTube.com. They're really long. Like, really long. My channel. Oh, I'd love to check out your YouTube. Hold on, let me find my playlist. Here we are, full course. No, that's the wrong list. That's not the right one. Ah, here we go. Full course animation practice. I probably need to add more into them, but here is the playlist. Sure how they got in there. I am probably gonna have to reorganize everything. I misread 34 as scared character peeing around the corner, and I was like, what? Yeah, that happens. That happens. Yoinks that link, thank you. You're welcome. It's a disorganized mess, but I hope you like it. I really gotta, like, catalog and put in all the info on my YouTube VODs about all the stuff I do. Ooh. I'm debating what to do next, because I don't really want to mess with level 3 tonight. But I can struggle bush trying to draw a fisheye perspective. What is this? There's nothing there. Okay. I feel ya. I have so many VODs to upload and organize to YouTube. Well, See, I simulcast. So like I'm streaming on Twitch and then I stream on YouTube as well, and as long as the stream is under, I think it's like 12 hours, YouTube automatically like posts the VOD, and then I just have to go in and add like all the detail and stuff. I just raw dog all of it. But I gotta edit like highlights and stuff like that. Oh, clever. Okay, let's go to Weirdtober. Where are you? Where are you, prompt list? Well, not necessarily prompt list. We're not going to concern ourselves with what that is. So that's forbidden knowledge. Your little hand cursor is so fun. So, Zombie! Hello! Welcome in, Raiders! What were you doing? What were you playing? Zombie? Ayo, ayo! What's going on? Y'all having a good night? What were you doing? And more importantly, did you win? Fish. Nope, don't have a grid for that. Add fisheye. So my little hand is a it's called Spud tablet. Nope, that's too dark. Spud tablet. Dell Demon held me hostage and forced me to play Warframe. Oh my god, way to go, Dell. Glad it was a fun time. Glad it was a fun time. Raiders, I know you just got off stream, so if you need to go do the post-stream clarity, go eat, go get Wagwa, go get, some Ipas. Go on ahead and head on out for those who wish to stay. Hello, my name is Fan. I am your resident fish lady, as well as a general variety art and game streamer. I'm trying to remember my introduction. I did. You know, we'll shout out Dell too, because it's been a while. It's been a hot minute. Shout out at Dell. Demon, also known as Fish Pappy. Man, Fish Mommy! But yeah, if you're curious and you want to add something fun to like your streams, this is called Spud Tablet Hand or Spud Tablet something. I think it's free, if I remember correctly. He also has a where you can hold like a controller to like play games. Only I don't play games on controller. I play games on mouse and keyboard. But yeah. So we're gonna mess around with the perspective ruler in Clip Paint because I watched a tutorial on how to use it. Still have no idea what I'm doing. Let's see. If that is the horizon... Nope. Wrong. Oh my god. Okay. Alright. Hey, yo. Ooh. I feel like I fucked it up. What the fuck? I don't know how any of this works. Looks neato. We just finished, so we finished out level 2 of 51 amazing, animation exercises to master. Okay, let's see. We're gonna put this there. Kind of. And then we're gonna have that be curved. Ooh. Oh, I was supposed to add in an extra line and I didn't do that. Okay. Alright. So we're gonna put that there. That's the horizon line. And we're gonna make it, I don't know, kind of big? Like that. And then we want it looking down from above. So how does that? So do something like that. Oh, whoops. Nope. I'm sure there's a way to do this that makes sense. I just haven't figured out that way yet. Nope. Fix vanishing point. Are there more options to this? No. Okay. This is all stream is gonna be from now on. It's just me trying to figure out how this ruler works. What did that do? What did that do? Okay. Obviously, I have no idea what I'm doing. Supposedly, there's a way that you can turn the grid on in this. I don't know how to do that. Wait. Wait. Oh my god. Okay. Alright. I think I got it. So then. Let's see. That goes up. Wait. Wait. Oh my god. It's like the prophecy has foretold. This is like... Ooh. I can move it. Can I actually delete this line? Because I feel like I kind of fucked it up. Ooh, wait. Okay. Put that there. That turns it. Woo! Okay, sorry. No, that's not what I wanted to do. Okay, I guess it's just... Ooh, okay. I feel like this is for a more advanced person than I. I got sidetracked admiring your art, saw your YouTube had social links. I love your art. Thank you. Also, no worries. I'm just over here trying to figure out how to make the fisheye lens work. Stretch. All Come on. Come on, we watched 2 hours worth of perspective videos today. Surely I can create something. Damn it. What program is this, by the way? Sorry if you already said it. So I have not already said this program is Clip Paint Studio, which used to be, I think it used to be like Manga Studio. Actually, you know what? Instead of doing fisheye, because I am vastly terrible at it, why don't we try 3-point perspective? Ooh, do you use a drawing tablet then? I do. So the drawing tablet I use is, I use a older Huion drawing tablet. What the hell? Okay, hold on. You. Isn't there a way to like show perspective more? We gotta figure it out one way or the other. I'm gonna do it. You'll see. You'll all see. I heard Huion is great. Yeah, I like it. Oh, okay, alright. So let's see. We do that line there. And then we'll do another line there. Oh my god. I don't know what any of these things do. Okay. Alright. There is a way to level this. I forget how. Oop. Nope. Go away, please. Okay. So that moves the whole thing. What do you do? I don't know what this does other than moves the whole thing. Do you do commissions? I love the way you draw PNG tubers. I need to have a commission like opening list, which I did make an account on VGen. I'm trying to find a place that I could like have my commissions like be open. So as of right now, it's on a case-by-case basis. So if you want to DM me on my socials or Discord, we can talk more about it if you're interested. Oh, do you have an artist plus code for VGen? I do not. I have to get like a special recommendation for it. Oh my god. Oh my god, I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, you know what? I'm done messing with this. I can't do it. I'm just gonna import my already made grid. Grid. I knew I had a fisheye grid in here. God damn it. That's the panorama grid. Is this it? Oh my god. Yeah, you're kind of big. Okay. Oh, this thing kind of goes on forever. Aspect ratio. I don't... How do I do the things? Panorama. What does that do? That takes it off. Okay. How do I... Scalable. How do I move? How do I, like, go backwards? No. What does that do? Okay. Panorama. I feel like there's a trick to this that I just don't understand. Okay, if that's going up. Because we want this to be like a down angle view. So it's like you're being looked at from above. If that makes sense. I think... Ooh, shit. I done fucked it. Move grid. Wait. Oh, so that moves the object. Okay. Alright. If you need help with setting up or navigating VGen, feel free to reach out. I'm always happy to help where I can. I got you, fam. What's your Discord? I have codes. Oh my god, you would recommend me for a VGen? Oh my god. If you recommend... I have to take 1,000,000 commissions now. If you recommend me for VGen. Or I could just, you know, set up the account, take the money, and run. That's always fun, right? No, that's bad. That's terrible. I promise I'm not like that. I'm actually... So, I'm in the middle of, Actually, what if it's like... Hold up. What I should be doing. Actually drawing things. What I'm actually doing. Not that. So, I feel like... If I did it from the ground... Where it's like... They're staring up. Where it's like that kind of like... That kind of like triangular shot where like it's... Oh, fuck. I done fucked it. What is it? What am I thinking of? Objects. I don't know. How do I rotate this? Edit timeline. Move grid. No, that doesn't do anything for me. Oh, wait. No, that does the whole canvas. That's not what I want. No, that's still not what I want. I'm actually in a commission right now for some branding work from a friend through a friend, so. But no, I would love to get with you. I changed my Discord, so hold up. Come on. I promise I will get something on the page. This is not just gonna be me being like, how do grids work for the next hour? Where is my Discord? Where are you? What is my Discord actually? Sorry, I actually had to change a lot of my stuff because my email got hacked. So that was no bueno. Yeah. Okay. Alright. There we go. I did it. I did it in a whisper. In a whisper in your ear. I actually don't know how. You cannot select a 3D object. I should look up how to make this work. And I'm just like, no! I'm gonna play with it until it makes sense. No? Wait. Wait, yes? Yes, no? Yes? Oop. Okay. So we're gonna do it from the ground. Let's align. Search layers, edit layer properties. What's tool navigation do? I'm sure there's somebody watching this screaming, just do this one simple thing! Well, that fucked it up. That still fucked it up. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna smush your ass flat. Actually, put the whole thing on. There. We're gonna take that off. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna smush you. I'm gonna smush you flat. No rush on comms. I wouldn't be able to purchase one till next month anyway. I'm still happy to support your artist journey with a VGen code, even if we don't work together. Aww! Stop! My heart! No, that's on the wrong layer. How dare you? I don't even know what I'm gonna... Okay, alright, hold up. We got a little sketchy sketch. We'll make them flat. See, he's a chalk outline, kinda. Grids always confuse the heck out of me when I try to set them up. I feel ya. Usually I just eyeball it and draw out my own grid. I'm not really good at that either. But I actually learned... Hold up. What was that video I was watching? They were talking about the eye line. So like, you have like a line like that, a line like that, and then you do that. And then you can find the horizon line like that. I think that's what they were trying to show me. to do something more fun and complicated, but then I was like, why? Can't do something more fun and complicated. I could barely do the regular stuff. Like, this is the one that I've kind of used. I kind of, like, I cheese it just a little bit, but I probably should really learn how to, like, make them myself. Because, like, here's... Stretch that out. Stretch that out. And then you have kind of like, I don't know, like a really flat ceiling. Come on. Come on. I can only do grids because I learned perspective drawing from scratch, 1 point, 2 point, and 3 point. I went to art school for a while, but had to drop out, going back to it next year. Oh, nice! That's cool. That's awesome. Oh, no. I fucked it. I'm just like, can I make it work with what I can teach myself? Probably not. Is that gonna stop me from trying? Nope. Okay, so... the ground's gotta be like... I don't know, kinda flat-ish? Like... that? I hated learning perspective because it was a lot of drawing buildings and stuff. I'm a character illustrator at heart. Aww. I don't know what I am. Just an attempt. Let's see. If this was... you were looking down... I'm not sure that would work. Actually... unless it was like above, maybe? I wonder if I take this Z angle and I rotate it like that. I'm the opposite of a gatekeeper when it comes to art knowledge, so if you ever have questions, I got you. I fully believe you can learn the things I learned in school on your own with the right resources. Yeah! No, I get you. I get you. I don't know, like, so you see a lot of videos about how, like... oh, that's kind of a cool perspective. I feel like, though, it's looking up rather than down. So if we change that this to be the opposite angle, this is probably not how you're supposed to play with perspective, but you know what? Oh well. Oh god, I looked at the time on stream. Is this really just an hour of me messing with with perspective rulers. God damn. I feel bad now. Alright, alright. Okay, so if we do that, and we increase the size, like just a teeny smidgen. Oh, I think I got it. I think in a weird roundabout way, I got it. I get it now. Kind of. So it's weird, right? Because, like, I see videos that pop up occasionally where they're like, do you need art school to be a professional artist, right? Or is art school worth it to, like, go to? And what a lot of people say is that art school is not worth it because, because of how, like, predatory it is. You know, with, like, fees and the amount that you have to, like, spend to get the education you need. But then, like, other people will say, you know, everything I ever learned was in art school, and you know, it was like the greatest thing that ever happened. And then people are like, well, if you can afford it, art school's worth it for the ability to network with other artists, you know, and people who are, like, actively in the industry. Like, for the longest time, I think the only way you could get a job working at Disney was if you went to CalArts. I think that's still true to some degree. Yeah, I used to watch a lot of those videos and came to the conclusion that art school wasn't worth it, but then I ended up going in the end for a few reasons. I'd say my art journey was 50-50 on self-taught and art school. And that's not bad. Like, the artist's journey is not a straight line. Some people feel it's... So, all I'm gonna say about it is some people feel it's worth going to art school because, I'm gonna smush X and Y together. Some people feel it's worth going to art school. Some people feel that being in debt when the industry is what it is right now is no bueno. And other people think that that it's more for like rich kids, I guess. But there's no right or wrong way to, like, to be an artist. Art school equals networking, critiques from quote-unquote masters, and art knowledge. All of those are achievable outside of the school, in my opinion, but it's easier to access via school. It's a trade for sure. That is true, because, I think that ground is, like, too slanted, so what if I make it, like, flat? Make it... But largely, it's a personal choice, right? So, like, so here's the thing. When I was younger, I could have put in a portfolio to go to an online art school, but at the time I was so insecure about my art that I was just like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. I don't want to apply. I feel like I'm gonna get rejected. you know, I feel like this isn't for me. And so I wound up not doing it because, like, the other thing was I went into college. I went into community college, and my degree in community college was in Associates of Applied Science, where I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have his body like kind of big in like this like corner foreground, maybe. So basically I went to community college, and I went to community college for a general degree in Associates of Applied Science, but what it actually was it was a focus in entertainment technology, and it was a generalized degree in film, gaming, and computer science and computer coding. So, because it was the closest I could get to animation in my local area. And while I was doing that, I had a film professor say, you know, this is a very unstable, you know, like, career choice. Oh, that's really cool though. Yeah, kinda. But anyways, but yeah, so I had a film professor that was like, you know, this is really unstable career choice. You know, you have to, like, it's a gig by gig basis. You have to, you know, be aware that, that, you know, it's feast or famine. And I remember talking with my dad about it, and my dad was like, okay, well, think about it in terms of, like, football, right? And I know that's a weird allegory, but, like, follow the process. So my dad's like, think about it in terms of football, right? So, like, when kids start playing football in, like, middle school, half of them get on the high school football team. And then from that half, maybe a quarter of them on the high school team will get into college football, right? And then from college football, maybe like a third of that quarter will make it to the professional, like, league, right? And so if you think about it in that way of, like, art, how do I explain this? When you're in your local area, it's like you're the best fish in the pond, right? Or maybe not necessarily like the best fish, but you're known as that art kid TM that everyone wants to pair with on creative projects because you yourself are creative. And then you get online and, you know, you see so many other amazing artists, and it's like, okay, well, you're not the art kid TM because your feed is tailored to seeing all the other art kid TMs who are all at various, like, stages of their drawing process, you know? Yeah, I've heard that too. I told my IRL industry pals that I was going back to art school, and they were all like, make sure you have a plan B. Are you sure? The industry is really unstable right now. Be open to other forms of art than your preferred if you want to make money, etc., etc. I mean, okay, so the industry... So here's the thing. It's low-key depressing, but I'm here for the love of the craft, not the cash, you feel? I get it. There's the love of the process and the ability to create art, unfortunately, you need the cash to live, you know? That's kind of what that is. But like the thing of it is like now kind of is the time to be an artist. Not saying that it's, you know, like you're gonna make an easy killing being an artist. That's not what I mean by that. But like artists, I think like historically from what I've been seeing have been able to kind of make like a better living when things are unstable, because people need an outlet for their like the ability to treat themselves and stuff like that. Treatonomics, I think is what they say, but like that aside, you know, now we're up against shit like AI and layoffs and what have you, and so words are hard. I can't do it. Come on, Icker. Come on, Icker. Make me feel better, please. Basically, yes, the industry is on fire, but there is ways, like, so again, my professor, like, turned me off from it because I didn't think I could live on a gig-by-gig basis, right? I thought I needed something that was stable and corporate, and in some ways I kind of do need that, but, like, ironically enough, through TikTok, I have learned that I can create the sustainability that I need. I just have to figure out what my angle is, right? Make it a little like match stick. Not that those burn very long, but you know. His hand's also backwards, I realize. But like, I follow a lot of small like art businesses where they're making their dream work. Now, granted, tariffs have kind of like messed with that a little bit, but like they make prints, they make stickers, and it's like, okay, well, if they can do that, why can't I? Like, why can't I make stickers and prints and, you know, live off of the things that I want to create? I will say the degree itself is only useful in the industry if you're just like selling comms online. No one's demanding credentials. You feel I've personally done well with freelance, though it can be inconsistent in terms of financial stability. I think you're doing well. Don't feel pressured to go back to school or follow a certain path on your art journey. Well, like, my thing is I'm about to out myself, but I am an 18 plus like VTuber, LewdTuber. But like, my thing of it is I want to try getting into like not necessarily like adult animation space, but like, I don't know, I want to try my hand at like doing the smutty stuff, like drawing the smutty comics and making the hentai, the monster hentai TM of my dreams, or of somebody's dreams, maybe not necessarily mine, but I don't know what it is. I like not safe for work like stuff. I don't have the anatomy skills for it currently, but I like it. Disney will never take me as an animator, maybe. I don't know. Supposedly Disney has a secret vault of porn. Because when you're an artist and you work for Disney, they they commandeer like all the art that you've like ever done when you sign a contract with them. But again, what I'm learning as I'm drawing for myself is that I may not have it all figured out, but that doesn't mean that I'm failing. I may not have it all figured out, but that doesn't mean that I'm not making progress. And that's what I'm trying to like keep in mind. I am making progress. It's slow progress, but it's progress nonetheless. We're gonna go for kind of like a forbidden, like, forest, like, kind of vibe. Honestly, art school doesn't give a shit about what you want to do in the end. They teach it all the same, since art and animation both have techniques and foundational concepts. If you wanted to be an 18+ artist, that doesn't mean you can't go to art school. Most artists I know who go to school do their preferred medium style type of art in their own time, regardless of what field they're in. But again, I don't think you need school at all. And your anatomy is great. I think you can do whatever you set your mind to. Yes. That is the plan. So I actually do need to do some more anatomy practice. I do have the, like, taco anatomy study books. By the way, Discord didn't let me send you a message, so I sent you a friend request. Okay, let me accept the friend request. Give me 1 second. Okay, let me see. I got a notification. Where is it? Hold up. Where are you? Friends, somebody sent me a friend request. Pending. Hey yo, I know who this person is. I have accepted your friend request. Oh my god, we're friends now. Woo! Have you heard of Istabrak? They're an artist who teaches art and has a lot of great YouTube vids on various art subjects. Their teaching style can be a bit harsh at times. Take what works and leave what doesn't. I say I learned a lot about color through those vids a few years back. I have not heard of them, but I am gonna look them up after this, because that sounds really interesting. I promised I wasn't gonna do another Weirdtober prompt on stream, but I was trying to mess with perspective. God damn it. Oh well, it's fine. The eyes of judgment all the way back there. That's not what I wanted to do mesh transformation on. Come on, Iker. Where are you? There you are. It's not what I wanted to do either. I might actually need to change Iker's pose a bit. So that way it's more like he's like leaning over it. Let me see. Hold on, I gotta readjust and stretch because the blood has stopped flowing in my legs. No, I will get there. I will find sustainability. I say as my entire life falls apart. I started doing these, like, no pressure to answer. You mentioned lewd tubing. I'm curious, is that something you dabble in here on Twitch, or do you use fancily similar platforms? I don't personally watch that sort of stuff, but I have a lot of respect for the craft. So I say lewd tuber. I say lewd tuber, but like I don't do a lot of like lewd things. I just know it's a term for somebody who's like 18 plus, which I mean, I talk about sex, I curse, you know, like that kind of things. That's as far as I've like taken it. Although I did find out recently that on Throne you can you can set gifts to be adult toys. And I thought that was absolutely wild. I had a friend that was like, "You didn't know that?" I'm like, "No." Because usually people set it to, you know, be like stuff to like upgrade and stuff like that. I didn't know you could buy like adult like stuff. And he's like, "Yeah, usually streamers put those on as gag gifts." So I haven't linked it yet, but I set up my throne. Oh my god, I'm laughing too hard. I set up my throne to where one section is adult toys, and the message is that if you give me anything on this list, I know you freaky like me. And then my other, like, list of stuff is just snacks, because apparently you can get, like, snacks on Throne too. And I swear to god, I cracked up for like 20 minutes trying to set up everything. But no, I haven't. So I've seen people do like shenanigans on stream for like on those places that you talked about. But I have not personally gone that far, although I heard somebody played like a Dark Souls game with one of those like love sense schmildos that people could mess with. And part of me was like, that might be kind of fun to try. And I was like, no, it would not. It absolutely would not. I see, from what I've understood, 18 plus streamers and YouTubers aren't the same. 18 plus streamers means adult jokes and only adults can watch. While YouTubers are more suggestive or have adult themes, I think it's okay to self-describe as a YouTuber if it feels right though. I watch a few streamers here on Twitch who toe the line. Hehe. Oh, I get you. TLDR, all YouTubers are 18 plus streamers, but not all 18... Ah, okay. So, in that case, in that case, I would be considered LewDtuber light. Light TM. So I would be a diet LewDtuber? I guess. Because, like, I do curse. We have some adult themes TM, but, like, we're definitely not a space for minors, but, that doesn't mean that, like, everything is in the gutter either. Does that make sense? Haha, I like that way of putting it. God, now I want to make a sticker where it's like a can of soda and it says Diet LewDtuber. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it now. Or, LewDtuber Light TM, or LewDtuber Zero. Oh my god! Oh, that would be perfect! Oh, LewDtuber Zero! That sounds awesome! I love that. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna add it to my list of, TDP to-do projects. Would make a great VTuber studio asset. You should totally sell that on a VGen shop. We'll see. We'll see. I actually kind of want to figure out how to make, VTuber studio stuff. Cause like I have, Tits, which is, the Twitch, the Twitch integrated throwing system. So I have that, and I have made an asset for that. Like I've made, like Ramune drink bottles. I've made a raid one, but that one never works when I get raided, and I don't understand why. What am I doing? I'm trying to draw a Icker more hunched. I love trying to draw, trying to remember what I'm doing when I'm chit-chatting. That's all I felt I've done for the past like 2 hours is just chit-chat, and it's great. Try to make the head angle a bit more like hunched over, like he's inspecting something. I think that helps if we kind of like Move his arm a bit. Yeah, okay, that's a bit better. Sorry, I'm a big yapper. No worries. No worries at all. Like, I was struggling to try to, like, find stuff to talk about earlier, so, like, I promise I love chatting with people. I love when people interact with chat. I know I get distracted a lot more easily when that happens, but I promise I do like talking to people. VTuber Studio assets are actually quite simple. You just draw it and upload the file into the items folder in the studio files. The same goes for rigged items. Then you can make item scenes to link them to hotkeys for redeems and whatnot. Okay, interesting. I've actually considered making my PNG avatar in VTube Studio. But I'm also mildly terrified of attempting it. Mildly terrified of attempting it, so who knows? Okay, and then because this is a matchstick, it's a wrap matchstick because matchsticks don't have fire that lasts very long. Actually, I don't think it should be that big. Oh, come on. What happened? No, I don't care about sticky keys. Just accept it! I think with your animation skills and art skill, you'd be able to rig a model quite well. It's just a matter of familiarizing yourself with the rigging program. I actually enjoy listening to you tell stories. I wish I could have typed earlier, but I'm shredding chicken with gloves on. Haha. Alternatively, you could do the art yourself and pay someone else to rig it. I've seen the going rate for riggers. They make fucking bank, alright? But I've also seen a lot of horror stories when it comes to riggers, so I also fear that I may contribute to those horror stories. Also, you're good, Gordaflon. I'm just kind of like doing my best. Doing my best. Be a crab. We must be swift as the coursing river. No, I sung that wrong. God damn it. Having you on in the background while I meal prep this late is a gift. Aww. So I've actually looked into how VTuber models are, made, like, at least the 2D ones. You have to separate everything. All the layers, all the details, all the shadows, everything. And I'm like, ah. Yep, it's a lot of work. It is, and it makes me want to cry. But then, like, doing what I'm doing now also is a lot of work and makes me want to cry. So it's like, if I'm gonna cry and suffer, I may as well do something impressive with it, right? Icker. God, I haven't drawn Icker in, like, a hot minute. Even though he was kind of in the first, scene that we did. Oh, so for, some context, if you're wondering what the hell this drawing is, so I decided that I was gonna do the Weirdtober prompt list challenge. And it's supposed to be done in 30 days. There's no way I'm doing it in 30 days. But I am gonna do it until I complete the damn thing. And the idea is that by doing the Weirdtober prompt list, I can get a feel for my comic that I've been wanting to draw for a while now, which is called Icker's Flea Market. And the entire premise is that Icker runs a junk shop for other bugs. But he's also kind of like, I don't know, a failure. And there might be some, like, ties into, like, what if Icarus survived the fall into the ocean and then became, like, his own inventor? Okay, I kind of like that pose, this pose a bit better because he's actually, like, leaning in to look at this, like, thing. Which is an abdomen piece. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this one. I'm gonna erase it because it looks a bit more stiff. What was I gonna say? But yeah, no, so like trust me, I've looked into it and I'm like, do I really want to? And then I'm like, why can't I just remain flat? But then I see other people that have done their PNG tubers in VGen Studio and I'm like, am I really gonna do it? And part of me is like, yes, you are. And then the other part of me is like, no, don't. Don't do it. Okay, honestly, it's not the most complicated perspective shot I've ever done, but you know what? It's good. We're good. We're happy. Part of me is actually wondering if I took a screenshot of this and I uploaded it into Rebel, I think I'm gonna do that. I think I'm gonna paint this in Rebel, because I really need to experiment with Rebel a bit more. I fucking love Rebel. That's one of my favorite, like, art programs that I've gotten, and I need to experiment with it a bit more. What time is it? It's 12:30 a.m. Yeah, okay. So I've been going at this for about 3.5 hours now. I could go for another 30-ish minutes. I'm trying to think if there's anything in my backlog that I need to finish tonight. That I want to finish tonight. No. There's another piece I want to start where it's a fan art piece of Another Crab's Treasure and the Gurren Lagann cast, where I want to turn them into hermit crabs because I feel like that would be a lot of fun. Speaking of, so Monday night stream may or may not be happening. It all depends on what happens tomorrow night. I have to go to the fish market to help with inventory, and I have been told that we're not supposed to get done until like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. So, Monday morning. So we'll usually, I feel like if I get like a decent amount of sleep, I'll be up in time for stream, but stream may or may not be canceled Monday. Let me see. Let me think. Think. Tuesday, we should be back to regular painting. I haven't decided if I'm gonna be painting in Rebel or Clip yet. I actually don't even know what I'll be painting. Probably another pinup piece. God, I still gotta prepare for Conjuration Con. I gotta get so much shit printed. Okay, alright. Don't calm. Don't panic. Don't panic. Stay calm. Think. Wednesday and Thursday is off. Friday will be co-op gaming with friends, and then next Saturday we will start level 3 animation practice exercises. So, if you're not following me, please give me a follow so you can get notified when I go live. And if I pass the vibe check, you know, if you want to see more from me. Let's go find somebody to read into, because I saw a lot of people come online. Following. Who am I following? Let's see. Fight Club, Muralem, Mediocre Mischief. I haven't rated Foss in a while, and Quan. They're all online right now. I feel like I've done Mediocre Mischief. Muralem is playing Resident Evil 4. Let's go say hi to Muralem. I feel like it's been a while since I've said hi to Muralem. With that being the case, much love. I hope you all have a good whenever, and I will see everybody in the next stream, which will hopefully be on Monday. So thank you for the new friends. We love new friends, new fishlings. Welcome to the Abyss. I'm still working on getting my Discord back up for me specifically and consolidating all of my social links. It's been a process and I've kind of been procrastinating on it, and I apologize. I procrastinate on a lot of stuff. So, but again, much love to everybody who came by, enjoyed the stream, listened to me ramble.